Hey, what's happening, guys? Sorry, been down for a few days here, but we're back. We're ready to roll. Okay. Running the red light. All right. You gotta watch out for them old men in hats, man. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about land for your bug out location. Believe me, I understand it is extremely difficult and expensive to acquire land. Okay, depending on where you're at, I know I've seen the advertisements for years that out in Montana and Wyoming, land's going for like $1 an acre or whatever it is. I don't know, but I know that in east of the Mississippi, land is kind of tough to come by. You can find little lots and stuff like that, but it's pretty expensive. So how are we supposed to acquire this land to bug out on? Okay, first thing, you got to figure out how much you need, right? Are you talking about just you and your family? Are you part of a larger group? Okay, you got to figure that out. 50 people is going to need more land than 10 people, right? That's just the way it goes. But if you are talking about just you and your family, first place to start looking is extended family. Okay, do you have a cousin, uncle, brothers, sisters, whatevers out there that live kind of in the country? You know, they got a couple acres. Need to have that conversation with them. You know, you don't need to turn them into preparedness minded people, because we've talked on here before that you can talk till you blue in the face and some people just aren't going to listen. But you can put it to them, you know, it's like, hey, I know you don't really believe in all this or whatever, but if something bad were to happen, me and mine need some place to go, would it be okay if blank? Okay, that's going to be your easiest, most economical, etc. And if you find family, friend who's willing to do that, you need to make sure that you're both on the same page, right? Because I don't want you guys doing the whole thing of, yeah, a buddy of mine's got 10 acres. He said for us just to come on out. And you've got nothing there. There's nothing pre-positioned. You have no idea where people are going to stay at. You got to have the plans, right? I'm real big on plans. Any of you guys that have watched any of my other videos, huge on plans. Plans on top of plans, right? And then contingency plans on top of that. No, but if you have that family or friend that's going to allow you to shack up with them there, yeah, see if it's okay if you put a little shed on the property to store your stuff, or if they have a place in the back corner of the barn, you can throw some stuff. You don't want to just show up there with what's on your back. That's not going to help anybody out. So make sure that you are stockpiling that spot. Okay. Now, if you do not have the family and friends that have the property that you can go to, in the area I live, okay, I live in Ohio, especially down southern Ohio, coal mining. Actually, people don't think of Ohio so much. They think of West Virginia, Kentucky, what is it? I think Montana or North Dakota, they're pretty heavy. I can't recall. Please don't get upset at me if I misquote. But anyway, southern Ohio, they do a lot of strip mining. Well, the coal company buys the land. It comes in and takes the coal, and then they put dirt back and they plant some trees and stuff, and pretty much they're done with that land. But they still own it. So what a lot of them do, they lease that land out. Okay, I know this because got some friends that down in Southern Ohio, we went together and leased some property for hunting, because we're all hunters. So it is possible. It's not free, but it's affordable. I believe the piece of land that we leased, I think it was 100 plus acres. I want to say like 130 acres. And I want to say it was something like $1,200 a year. Okay, so $100 a month-ish. Now I know that that's not free, but if you're thinking 100 acres for $100 a month, that's pretty darn good. Okay. Now you'll have to watch with those leases. I'm not saying they're going to let you build your bomb shelter there and all that other good stuff. So check into it, see if you're allowed to put up any type of structures, and just remember that a shed's really not considered a permanent structure. Okay, make sure you identify what is a permanent structure. Even getting old pull-behind camper and setting it up, at least it gives you something, right? And all of a sudden you've got some land. Now you'll have to see if they are, per the contract, are they able to lease it out from underneath you to somebody else the following year, etc., etc. But that's an option. For those of you that don't even have that, I'm hesitant to say this, but frankly it's the only other idea I can come up with. State parks, okay, federal parks, national parks, okay. Now you cannot go in there and start building a log cabin, right? But you can go in there and start scoping out spots, okay? And if that's all you got, that's all you got. The only thing with that is you have to remember that you're not the only one that's going to have that idea in mind, okay? I've done that around our area. I've checked out some of the state parks and wildlife areas and stuff like that. The property that's owned by the government. You know, get your old topographical map out, and a lot of that stuff you can just do off Google Earth if you got Google Earth, and but kind of scope it out. Get an idea for different things. I don't know, my car just beeped. I hate when it does that. Anyway, but that might be the only thing. And yes, I know it is going to stink. You're not going to have a structure there. Logistically, getting there, getting something put up is going to be tougher. But got to watch how I word things. You know what? I'm just going to leave that alone. Possibility, and you go ahead in your mind and you think about what you have to do to make it a bug out location, right? Okay, enough said. I'm gonna leave it there. But it can be tough, even for a group. You know, our group, our mag, our group of like-minded, prepared people. That's something that we are talking about. But you got to watch who you team up with about stuff, and that's kind of the issue that we're having. We're trying to determine how many people that we need to have before we can seriously start looking. Because everybody's got to have the same goals, everybody's got to be on the same page, right? But anyway, just a couple quick things. First thing is check family, friends. That, you know, outside of the town a little bit. Try to hit them up and work something out with them. Getting your own land can be expensive, but there are, I mentioned a lot of the coal companies around Ohio. You can lease the land. There are a lot of farmers that lease hunting rights, okay? There's different things, and you'd have to talk with the farmer about that. There's possibility farmers in your area, you could lease the woods for whatever. And there are sites out there where you can purchase property through owner finance. Now, you are going to pay more for that. And the land's probably not going to be perfect, because if it was great land that everybody wanted, people are going to be trying to buy it before it even goes on the market. Okay, so you just have to do some checking, do some watching. But there's some ideas as far as acquiring land, and it's not easy, guys. I'm not going to sit here, oh yeah, you ought to be able to go ahead and do it. No, I get it. Okay, I've been there. I understand. It is not easy to do. When looking for the land, thankfully, the more remote and out of the way and far away from everything it is, the more affordable it is. And that works out to our advantage, because that's kind of what we're looking for anyway, right? But yeah, I'll kind of wrap it up there. Check out some different sites out there. Just type in, owner finance land. See what you come up with in your area. Any tips or tricks in your neck of the woods, go ahead and post them down below too. I have no idea as far as, Florida, Arizona, all that. I don't know. You guys might though, and you might be able to help somebody out. So post it down in the comments below if you would, please. So with that, we'll wrap it up, and until next time, talk to y'all after a while.